The world is changing at an alarming pace. Wars, economic crises, natural disasters, and a growing sense of uncertainty are taking over humanity. But what if someone had already warned us about all of this decades ago? In 1931, a saint known for his mystical visions delivered a chilling message. A message that, according to many, is coming true right now. Saint Padre Pio warned about events that would mark a turning point in history. And what he said about the future is shocking. Today, we will uncover his most alarming prophecy and how it directly connects to what we are experiencing in 2025. Could we be witnessing the fulfillment of a spiritual revelation that has been hidden from us for years? Throughout this video, we will break down every detail of this enigma. We'll explore exactly what Saint Padre Pio said, how his words resonate with today's events, and most importantly, what this means for you. By the end, you'll not only discover the truth behind this warning, but also how you can prepare for what's coming. Stay with us until the end. This information might change the way you see the world. To fully grasp the magnitude of this prophecy, we first need to understand who Saint Padre Pio was and why his words carry so much weight, even decades after his passing. Born in 1887 in Pietrelcina, Italy, Francesco Forgione, later known as Padre Pio, dedicated his life to faith and spiritual service. From a young age, he exhibited signs of an extraordinary connection with the divine, experiencing visions and deep mystical states. However, what truly made him a legendary figure were the stigmata, visible wounds on his body that mirrored the crucifixion marks of Christ. But the stigmata were only part of his supernatural experiences. Padre Pio was also known for his prophetic visions, the ability to read people's souls, and even reports of bilocation, being seen in two places at the same time. His insights into people's lives and the future astounded believers and skeptics alike. Why are his prophecies so important today? Throughout his life, Saint Padre Pio made numerous predictions, some of which have already come true with eerie accuracy. His warnings about wars, spiritual crises, and global catastrophes have echoed through the decades. But one prophecy in particular stood out, a vision that shook his followers to their core. A warning about a trial that would shake the entire world, and that many now believe is unfolding before our eyes. Throughout his life, Saint Padre Pio shared many teachings and warnings. However, one prophecy in particular stood out, one that left his followers in fear and disbelief. It was a message about a coming tribulation, a test that would shake the entire world. He spoke of a period of darkness and purification, where people's faith would be tested like never before. His words, spoken decades ago, now seem eerily relevant to what we are experiencing today. In one of his visions, he declared, "The world is heading toward its own destruction. Humanity has turned away from God and will be purified through fire. Great trials are coming, and only those who remain faithful to the truth will be protected." Believers interpret these words as a warning of difficult times ahead, global crises, growing conflicts, and a widespread loss of spiritual values. Padre Pio also mentioned the arrival of 3 days of darkness, a vision that has been echoed by other saints and mystics throughout history. The connection to 2025, are we witnessing the beginning? The most alarming aspect of his prophecy is how closely it aligns with recent world events. Many researchers and theologians have pointed out that the wars, political unrest, extreme natural disasters, and economic turmoil we see today resemble the warnings given by Padre Pio. Could we already be entering the phase he described? More and more believers think so. The signs are multiplying, and people are awakening to the possibility that something significant is about to happen. But if this prophecy is indeed coming true, what does it mean for us? If Padre Pio's vision was a divine warning, then simply knowing about it is not enough. We must understand its purpose and how it calls us to act. Saint Padre Pio's words were not just warnings. They were an urgent call to spiritual awakening and preparation. To fully grasp their meaning, we must ask ourselves, what is truly at stake in this prophecy? According to those who studied his messages, Padre Pio wasn't only speaking about external disasters, he was warning about a great spiritual battle that would intensify in the end times. He spoke of a world where faith would be tested, where many would drift away from God, and where materialism and moral decay would take over. The enemy will infiltrate everywhere, seeking to destroy what is sacred. Many will abandon God without realizing it, and when they finally open their eyes, it will be too late. Many believers today feel that these words perfectly describe our current reality. The widespread loss of faith, increasing divisions in society, and the growing uncertainty about the future are all signs that align with Padre Pio's prophecy. But not all is lost. Alongside his warnings, Padre Pio also spoke about divine mercy and protection for those who remain faithful. He emphasized that those who trust in God and follow his teachings will find the strength needed to endure any tribulation. Other saints confirmed this warning. Padre Pio was not the only saint to speak of such times. Saint Faustina Kowalska, Saint John Bosco, and many others also left behind messages about a period of trials and purification. The consistency of these prophecies suggests that this is a message we cannot afford to ignore. So if this prophecy is truly unfolding, how can we prepare? If Saint Padre Pio's prophecy is unfolding and difficult times are ahead, the most important question is, how can we protect and prepare ourselves spiritually? Padre Pio didn't just warn about future events, he also provided clear guidance on how to strengthen the soul and find refuge in faith. For him, the key was always prayer, trust in God, and perseverance in spiritual life. He often emphasized that prayer is the most powerful weapon against evil, a divine shield that keeps us firm in times of uncertainty. Among all prayers, he particularly stressed the Holy Rosary, calling it a direct line of protection and grace from the Virgin Mary. He believed that those who prayed it daily with devotion would receive special protection and guidance. But prayer alone was not enough. Padre Pio insisted on the importance of frequent confession, considering it essential for maintaining a soul free from spiritual burdens. He taught that regular reconciliation with God not only strengthens us spiritually, but also prepares us for any trials that may come. Alongside confession, he placed the Eucharist at the center of spiritual survival, describing it as the ultimate nourishment for the soul. At the same time, faith must remain unshaken, even in the darkest moments. Padre Pio's warnings were not meant to cause fear, but to inspire trust in divine providence. He reminded people that no matter how chaotic the world might seem, God never abandons those who remain faithful. Finally, he strongly warned against despair and panic. Many people, when faced with these prophecies, feel anxiety or fear, but Padre Pio always emphasized that such emotions weaken the spirit. He reassured his followers with a simple yet profound truth: if God is with us, who can be against us? So now that we understand how to prepare, what comes next? If this prophecy is truly unfolding before our eyes, what action should we take right now? After uncovering Saint Padre Pio's prophecy, his warnings, and the signs that seem to be unfolding in our time, one crucial question remains: what does this mean for us? Are we truly prepared for the spiritual and moral challenges he predicted? If there's one thing Padre Pio's message makes clear, it's that we cannot wait until the events fully unfold to take action. Spiritual preparation is not something that happens overnight. It requires a conscious effort to live in faith every day. The key is not to fear what is coming, but rather to strengthen our connection with God through prayer, devotion, and a commitment to spiritual values. Padre Pio's words were not meant to instill panic, but rather to wake us up and lead us toward a deeper conversion. Instead of asking whether the prophecy is happening, the real question is, are we living according to our faith? If the answer is uncertain, now is the time to act. He taught that those who stand firm in their faith, regardless of external circumstances, will always be under divine protection. Now the decision is yours. You can ignore these warnings, or you can start taking steps toward a stronger spiritual life. History has shown us that times change quickly. Are you ready for what's coming? What do you think? Do you believe Saint Padre Pio's prophecy is unfolding before our eyes? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's discuss this together. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you never miss these crucial revelations. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. As we reach the end of this revelation, one question remains: why should we take Saint Padre Pio's prophecy seriously today? Is it just another spiritual warning, or is there something deeper that we cannot afford to ignore? Throughout history, humanity has been warned about impending crises, both physical and spiritual. Many times, people dismissed these messages until the events unfolded right before their eyes. Padre Pio's prophecy is not just about external disasters or chaos in the world. It speaks of a crisis within the soul of humanity, a turning point where faith will either strengthen or fade into oblivion. In today's world, we see a rapid decline in spirituality. Faith is being replaced by materialism, morality is being questioned, and the connection with God is weakening. People are more anxious, lost, and uncertain than ever before. This is precisely what Padre Pio warned about, a time when humanity would drift away from the divine, making itself vulnerable to trials and tribulations. But his prophecy was not just a warning, it was also a message of hope. He emphasized that those who remain firm in their faith will not be abandoned. He spoke of divine protection, of a grace that is available to all who seek it with a sincere heart. So the real question is, are we prepared to embrace this call to faith, or will we wait until it's too late? Now more than ever, people are searching for meaning. They are realizing that money, status, and material possessions do not bring true fulfillment. There is a longing for something deeper, something eternal. Padre Pio's message is a reminder that no matter how chaotic the world becomes, there is always a path to spiritual peace. But it requires action. It requires a conscious decision to turn away from distractions and return to the core of faith. Many people might think, I'll worry about this later, but history has shown us that time is unpredictable. The world can change in an instant. If this prophecy is indeed unfolding, then ignoring it is not an option. The right moment to reconnect with faith, to prepare spiritually, is now. So what can you do today? Start with small but meaningful steps. Pray, reflect, seek wisdom in Scripture, and strengthen your spiritual foundation. Do not let fear control you, but instead, let faith guide you. That is what Saint Padre Pio wanted, for people to be awake, aware, and spiritually ready for whatever comes next. As we close this message, remember that the greatest mistake humanity has made throughout history is ignoring the signs until it's too late. Will this be another case of dismissed prophecy, or will we finally listen? The choice is ours.